It's me again. What? Well, I'm a doofus, and I relaunched our channel on the week that you were on vacation because I failed to firm up the exact dates that we were both available and ready to return to this. So I'm sorry, and you get a completely free pass for the week that is behind us now. But beginning this week, as we move into the month of July, you'll upload on Thursdays, I'll upload on Saturdays, or rather, you'll upload by end of day Thursday, I'll upload by end of day Saturday. And that'll be the schedule, the pattern, and we'll move on with that. Punishments if you fail. And of course, I owe you 5 of those, so rack them up. I'll do it. As we move into July, Carly is returning to nurse practitioner school, which means a lot of adjustments for us. And we're making those gladly and excitedly as she's pursuing this and doing so full time, which means she'll finish faster, but means a lot of work in the season that we're entering. So we're just, sorting it all out and making sure that we are moving forward with intentionality in how we make time with one another and as a family unit. With that, and with Carly's career elevating, I figured I'd just share my career arc up to this point, as I know you've heard the bits and pieces, but maybe have not heard the arc all at once. So over the last decade now, since high school, of course, I graduated high school intent on pursuing a biblical studies degree, which I did for a semester, and dropped the major, pursuing a math major for a week until I dropped it after having failed to relearn calculus, which was a shock to me, and would take on an evangelism course that would help me, not help me, but would rather lead me to Arrowhead Bible Camp, where I would find Carly. And so I'm forever grateful for that sequence of events and finding the love of my life. That semester, I would actually finish as a government major and would pursue that for another year before returning to being a biblical studies major, which I would graduate with, and would simultaneously have a job as a local interim youth leader, during which I came to recognize I needed further training. Would pursue seminary for a year before stepping away from ministry as a whole to deal with my own anger issues and to pursue counseling on that front. And I'm forever thankful for counseling and the church that held us so closely during that time and truly called out what was needed, and we moved on from it. It meant a career change, which meant I would work at Amazon packing boxes for a few months as I needed physical therapy for my back afterward, and I would work selling internet door to door and walking around the city of Louisville until we decided a change of pace was needed and I would take a job in banking. But it never quite fit the long-term vision, and so Carly had suggested pursuing a coding boot camp, which I had never heard of, and so we looked into it. There was kind of a practice few weeks, a very cheap course that you could take to get an introduction, and fell in love with what it was. I would then pursue the whole 9-month-long course and would complete that to then have a 9-month job search where I finally took on a contract position as a QA tester with KFC until a recruiter eventually would reach out and invite me to work for a startup. And I could not be more thankful for where that has now put me as a remote QA tester for a startup whose culture I could not find better elsewhere and whose leadership I appreciate dearly.